Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So tonight I am going to do a Dutch pour. So I've done Dutch pours in the past. I wouldn't say I was an expert at it, but I'm just having some fun and seeing how it goes. So the paints I'm using, the white base is Eraldo de Paulo mixed. How did I mix that? I have to check my list. I didn't write exactly how much paint I put in because I ended up using one of the big cups because I didn't fill them too much. But ultimately, I've got however much paint I used twice as much floetrol, and then I used about half as much. So if I used 100% floetrol, then 50% paint, and then 25% water to make the mix for all of them, the paints and the white. I hope that makes sense. So with these ones, I used 5 grams of paint, 10 grams of floetrol, and about 2.5 grams of water. So I'm not 100% sure if I've made them thicker or thinner. The silver, I didn't use as much in it, only because metallics are a little bit different, I think. So we'll just have to see how it goes. If it doesn't, then I would have to mix that a bit more. But the colours I've got is Holcroft Professional Light Purple, I think it is, Permanent Light Violet. The Holcroft Professional Cerulean Blue Hue, Holcroft Professional Pewter, and Holcroft Professional Princely Purple. So we'll see how this goes. I've done Dutch pours mostly with the water in the past. I haven't done a lot using a floetrol and water mix. I saw someone using it and they said it was good, so I thought I'll try it and see how it goes. So I probably won't end up using even half of this amount of coloured paint, but it's the fun bit, is just sometimes it's hard when you're making up only 5 grams of paint. Oh, I didn't swear. I just tipped half of that violet out onto my tray. Luckily I have my trays. That was very good of me not to say a bad word. I'm not used to using such small cups, and I'm a little bit known for being slightly clumsy. Sorry, that is actually funny, really, that I dropped it. So these are sinking a little bit in the white, so I may have made them slightly not the right consistency. The only one that's staying on top is the silver. So the other ones I might have made too thin. I'll have to look into that as I go. Now, the last time I did a Dutch pour, I covered everywhere in paint. So I'm actually going to move my little iPad so I don't ruin that. Since then I have brought the new hairdryer, which is the same one I used for the blooms a few videos back. So it's a travel one, which has got a bit less wattage. Because we're in Australia, the big ones are like 2,400 watts. So they're really, really strong. So I'm going to use this one and see how I go. And I might not have turned it on. Yep, that's better. one thing I've learned when I did these in the past, don't overblow them. You overblow them, they get weak, washed out, and they don't look so good. The only issue I have now is it's very centralized. Probably would be perfect if I was on a shorter, so this is a 12 by 16. If it was on a shorter canvas, so probably like a 16 by 8. So I'm going to have to manually try to blow some of this color out, but I'm not going to overdo it, because I find whenever you overblow a Dutch pour, you ruin it. Next time I may use slightly more paint, or maybe even put the hairdresser on the higher setting. So that's looking a little bit better. So I'm getting heaps and heaps of cells. If anything, sometimes the cells are actually going a little bit thin, where it's making it, it's making the white areas look still quite white, because the blue came in it, but then it kind of sank again. So I reckon that that is because my consistency is maybe a little bit too thin. I may have to thicken up a little bit. So, but that's good to know. So I haven't completely got my ratios mixed. I think when I do, if I were to make them in like bigger, do I have any near me? I'll get one off the shelf which has already got paint in it. If I made it in something like that, I could probably make a larger amount and actually get the consistency a little bit easier. It's very hard when you're doing a small cup. You try and add a little bit of water and it kind of plonks out instead of just drips out. I might try a little bit more. Yeah, I think if I go too much more, I'm going to make it too washed out. So I am liking this. The issue I have is I don't do a lot of paintings with white backgrounds. I like white backgrounds, but I don't, for some reason, I don't do a lot of them. I do like black backgrounds. But I think before, these paints might be alright. When I did my last Dutch pours, I used paints that were more, they weren't as high in their pigment. So when you use it on a black background, they look fine when they're wet, but when they dry a little bit washed out. When with this one here, there are stronger pigments, so they may turn out quite okay if I were to use a darker background. But I'll have to test that out and see. Yeah, I think a lot of the colour is underneath and it comes to the surface and then sinks back down like it does. But I'm happy with this. This is pretty good. I don't always like things that are overly done, but like some of my other Dutch pours, I think I put them away now. When I was first doing it, you blow and you blow, trying to get the paint everywhere, and I found by the time you get it out to the edges, you lose the depth. When this has still got some depth running through the middle with the lighter colours spreading out to the edges, which is what I prefer. So I think and it's also a matter of what you like. Definitely tons of cells. I'm not going to torch it, because if I torch it, I'm going to lose whatever colour I get back into cells again. So I'm happy. This is done for me. It's a different painting to normal, but I'm loving it. So I'm going to pause it and bring you down for a close-up. Okay, there we go. So this camera isn't actually showing that white as it could be. in real life it's a white. When on camera it looks a little bit like an off-white. But as you can see, it's covered the canvas nicely. It's not over the top, and it's not just a little slither in the middle either. But like I said, if I blow that more, I will get a lot more of this fine stuff, and I'll lose the depth of colours like these ones. So no more blowing it out. And I think that's the biggest tip that I can give when it comes to Dutch pawls. Less is definitely more. If I might put a little bit more paint down next time, and I might change the consistency slightly, but I'm still super happy. Like, look at this. Now you've got tons of cells, lots happening. Really cool. This is where I blew it out, where it blew out coloured and then sank back in. It's just left a little bit of an outline. So I'm not going to alter that. And then you go down here. Yeah, it's definitely not coming out anywhere near as white as I see. But there, that's my painting. That's my new Dutch pawl. So I'm going to be doing another one, but I'm probably going to post the videos up on separate days, because I've got my weekend and I don't know if I'm going to be able to paint each day. So, but yeah, I'm happy with this. I hope you guys like it. Subscribe and like and share my videos and leave comments. Tell me if you think I did good or if I did bad. Should have I gone and blown it more, or should I have blown it less? All these things are helpful to me. They help me learn what other people like, not just myself. So, because I've only got my opinion, and I'm a guy. Some people think guys have different opinions. So, it's good to know what others like. But yeah, thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.